Seal Island is a small island that is a sea lion paradise located in Hout Bay near Cape Town, South Africa. The island is roughly 2 hectares in size and is composed entirely of granite. It is an untouched barren terrain devoid of any flora, beaches, or other land features. Sea lions are big fans of this location. There were more than 60,000 of them there at its peak. 60,000 is an extremely alluring number for great white sharks. They pursue sea lions viciously and then feast on them, giving humans a chance to see the great white shark up close. Many travelers from all around the world visit Cape Town each year. They dive into the water to observe the white sharks while being watched over by guards in a protective cage. In Cape Town, this is regarded as a customary tourism project. It won't last long, though. An incident that happened in 2017 totally devastated the large white shark tourism business in the area. Locals discovered the body of a huge white shark here in May 2017. A large white shark got stuck on the coast once before, but this time is obviously different. The liver was the only organ to go, the rest of the body remaining full, despite the big slit in it. 5 comparable huge white sharks were discovered dead in Cape Town waters the following day. The liver was removed entirely. This was never the case. Large white shark populations in the surrounding waters were also declining at that time. There were between 300 and 500 a few years ago, but it's been difficult to spot them since the killing. The large white sharks looked to be afraid and vanished. Speaking of this shark, I think my initial reaction was aggressive. He may not be a lord in the seas, but he essentially has no natural adversaries, and nobody would have predicted how brutally it would end. He made the decision to leave after some were attacked. After all, who did this? A Cape Town assessment indicated that the killer whale was the one that attacked the large white shark. This assertion is simple to support given the rarity of killer whale sightings in Cape Town's seas. It was a gang of killer whales meandering through the surrounding seas that attacked the large white shark in turn. This seems to be true based on the wound and the removed liver. Normally, when a predator attacks, the prey will fight back until they are hurt. Therefore, it's strange that the large white shark's bodies are entirely intact. Scientists have now figured out how the killer whale accomplishes it after much investigation. The white shark is roughly 4 meters long, and the killer whale is between 5 and 8 meters long. A killer whale's teeth can reach a length of 10 centimeters, which is double the length of a huge white shark's teeth. The killer whale has a significant edge in terms of both size and capacity to attack. In addition, this is a cooperative effort, with 3 to 5 killer whales encircling the big white shark to attack it. They found that although the large white shark is highly hostile, once it spits up in the abdomen, the entire body becomes motionless. They so had a strategy. The great white shark was thrown off balance and turned, losing its ability to move right away, when 2 killer whales leaped from above and down in the opposite direction of the large white shark. The great white shark will die in a long time. Now, in order to quickly consume its liver, the killer whales just rise and bite into its stomach. Though small in size, the bite is quite precise. The issue at hand is why the killer whale exclusively consumes the liver of enormous white sharks, never gnawing on any flesh. Scientists have conducted study and discovered that the largest, healthiest, and most easily consumable shark liver is that of the great white shark. It's astonishing the killer whale is aware of this. This is one of the various techniques for hunting killer whales, who are thought to be the most widely dispersed mammal outside of humans. Found anywhere there is a food source, from the Arctic to the Antarctic, from cold water to the tropics. For instance, there are plenty of herrings in Norway's North Atlantic waters. The thousands of fish coming together is a sight to behold, especially for herd-loving species. it also presents an allure to predatory whales like killer whales. In my imagination, if it wants to eat herring, it just needs to open its mouth and dive in to enjoy it. But this isn't the deft prey-gathering manner of a killer whale. When killer whales hunt herring, they also work in groups. Instead of diving in headfirst to scatter the stock, they all swim around and let out terrified cries that huddle the stock closer together. The killer whale group will scream once more to communicate when the density is high enough, and then use its tail to knock the herring as hard as it can to eliminate them. There has been a really classy dinner prepared. It is a really brutal yet beautiful method that their brains always come up with to catch prey. For instance, these sea lions are lounging on the beach in the sun, and if danger approaches, it could be in the killer whale's mouth. I think that after every attack like that, you have the same doubts as the sea lion, which is stuck on the shore. In actuality, this is extremely uncommon. Firstly, we have to acknowledge that the killer whale is a plump, flexible man. Witnesses report seeing killer whales purposefully forcing their young toward the beach so they can learn how to swing back into the sea in the closed seas of the Indian Ocean. They appear to be rehearsing their crawl. Should things carry on in this manner, the killer whale may evolve to crawl on the coast with its own chest in 3 or 4 million years. A fish that visits the shore and lives in the ocean needs to be able to calculate. He hurried to the beach as the tide was about to rise, masterfully utilizing the law of the tide, and then exploited the rising water level to make the region swing back into the sea. Killer whales rush in a very dangerous manner to the beach because of this. In the South Atlantic Falkland Islands, scientists have even managed to photograph an intriguing scene. At this distance, the seal believe they can sleep soundly without having to worry about killer whales, as they are resting on a shallow beach. However, as the tides rise, some watercourses become fuller, making it easier for killer whales to access the areas where seal rest. It managed to return the seal to the sea before the tide dropped. Or another seal like in the video you are watching. The idea that it may hide atop floating icebergs and wait for the killer whale to swoop down on another victim and release it is absurd. Perhaps nonetheless, this fish does not have predatory tendencies. It poked its head up to observe the seal's position to plan its attack. A group of killer whales quickly gathered to create tsunamis, trying to push the seal down. The others are waiting in the interim. The seal is really too young and pitiful. Have you noticed anything? Big white sharks, herring, and seal are the prey that has been mentioned from the beginning. All of these species are smaller than killer whales. What about the larger ones then? Gray whales and blue whales are within their sphere of influence as ocean predators. It was not an easy attack, though, because of the significant size difference. What is this place's killer whale tactic? Such footage has been captured on camera. For the past 2 hours, a group of killer whales has been pursuing the gray whale in the ocean. The killer whale swiftly attacked the fatigued gray whale, paralyzing it with a lethal blow to the brain and utterly subduing this massive meal. They claim it's a tried-and-true tactic. It is comparable to how prehistoric humans pursued elephants over the plains of Africa. They will go far in pursuing the elephant. They ultimately deliver a crushing strike when they are fatigued. Is there evidence to support a link between killer whales and humans? There are rumors that a tribe by the name of Yuin exists in Australia's southeast waterways. This tribe uses a killer whale as its nest. They have fished with killer whales for centuries. A portion of the revenue will go towards supporting the killer whale. When a fisherman slipped into the water by mistake, a killer whale even rescued him from a shark attack. Not only is it assisting in keeping the shark at bay, it's also assisting this man in returning to the boat. Could the human race and the ocean killer be that close? Is this a unique situation? Because killer whales have been known to attack ships and harm humans. In truth, killer whales in the wild are incredibly friendly to humans and appear to be attempting to interact with them. They appear to detect that humans are a little different. Killer whales have attacked coaches in ocean parks on numerous occasions. Humans started catching and training killer whales in the 1970s. At least 35 incidences involving fish injuries and at least 6 coach fatalities have occurred since then. The issue at hand is why killer whales in the wild are so amiable, yet those in parks attack humans. The killer whale's inability to cope with the sensation of being stabbed is the sole explanation. Even the closest coach will turn on you when you feel mocked. This place doesn't appear so basic. It's time to explore their minds. Killer whales are known to have distinct hunting strategies for each type of prey they encounter. They need a really sharp mind to be able to achieve this. The killer whale's brain is the second largest of all animals, the largest being the sperm whale, which weighs 10 times more than the killer whale. This second largest brain has several practical uses. The GI is a marker that expresses the degree of wrinkles in the brain. The killer whale has a GI of 5.7 compared to 2.2 for humans. It's incredible. There are 2 things that are also highly developed in the killer whale's brain: the hippocampus and the amygdala. What function do these 2 configurations serve? The first is the hippocampal region, which is involved in spatial localization, short and long-term memory. This is crucial information about the killer whale's prey. Additionally, the expression of cognition and emotion is controlled by the almond nodes. This implies that killer whales are social beings as well. That's why they're so amiable to people. His own family was a manifestation of that sentiment. For the remainder of their life, the killer whales will reside with their mother. The males will mate with the other males as they grow up and then go back home. The newborn will continue to be protected by their mother. A killer whale can live up to 90 or 100 years old with an average age of around 50. Catching a group of killer whales with 4 generations in a row is not difficult. Perhaps killer whales are marine predators as well. How do your friends feel about an animal of this kind? Remember to share it in the comments area with Mr. Ding Ding. And now goodbye, and see you again. Thank you for watching.